Hey, food friends, and welcome to the Food Founders Podcast, your number one spot to get mentoring, guidance, and behind the scene learnings to help you understand what it really takes to launch, grow, and scale your packaged food or beverage business. On the show, you'll hear from food founders at various stages of growth, and you'll hear from me and my 14 years of packaged food and beverage experience. Each episode is packed with insights, inspiration, and learning to help you on your food business journey. I'm your host, Ainsley, and this is the Food Founders Podcast. All right, food friends, I am here with Ronit Vida from WeNatal. Welcome, guys, to the Food Founders Podcast.
Hi, excited to be here.
Great to have you guys on here. Could you just open it up, talk to everyone about what is WeNatal and who are you guys serving?
Yeah, so it's a great question. So WeNatal is really serving everyone, but it's a prenatal supplement for men and women. So the kicker being it's for the entire couple, serving mind and body with a gratitude journal as well. And so it is a brand that just launched about 6 months ago, backed by some of the industry leading doctors and wellness experts and nutritionists, and here to really help you create healthy little humans, because we know that for the biggest journey and one of the most important journeys you're going to go on, we found some huge ahas in our personal journey with people kind of leaving out 50% of the equation and no one really addressing the mental aspect, which we can get into.
Yeah, that mental aspect kind of gets ignored, but it's obviously front and center and something very important for everyone going on their fertility journey, especially if people have been trying for some time. And you incorporated that in, and you incorporated the male equation into this all. Talk to me about how that has been. I feel like women are obviously much more prone to, okay, we need to take prenatal. I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to stop eating this, stop doing toxins, all the things. Mm-hmm. And men are kind of like, I can kind of like, my life isn't changing. Yep. Talk to me about how it has been, why you thought it was important to put the male in the equation, and how that has helped the overall picture being addressed for fertility support for couples.
Yeah, so I can jump in. I'd say why we decided to go down that route is of the men's prenatal is because we learned what should be obvious, that men contribute to 50% of the equation, 50% of infertility, 50% of miscarriage happen because of sperm quality. And also we learned that it's very easy to improve sperm quality with targeted nutrients. So that was originally our concept for WeNatal, was a men's prenatal. We wanted to create a full high dose antioxidant blend to help support men. And we ended up bringing on the women's prenatal and the mindfulness journal because we saw a gap in the marketplace. But really going back to the men's part, we didn't know how it would be received by men. We didn't know, honestly, when we were putting together our projections, we were like, okay, we're going to order this much of this and this much of that. But we had no idea. And we were so pleasantly surprised to see that most of our orders, most of our subscribers are subscribers to WeNatal Together, which is the bundle of him and her. We also offer options of her and her and him. But for the most part, it's WeNatal Together for him and her. And we're getting such great feedback from our men saying that they're so grateful to be able to support their partner in this journey. You know, we're marketing mostly towards women, but we will have men that are subscribing on their own too. We're pretty overwhelmed with gratitude for the fact that this is actually, we see it making a difference. We also see the narrative shift in the media about fertility and men's fertility and prenatals for men. Since launching, we were part of a Forbes article and Wall Street Journal article about the men's fertility crisis and how new startup brands are starting to kind of tackle that crisis together. So we're very excited to see a shift in the narrative. We're happy to see our WeNatal men loving our product. They feel great on it. So when obviously you're taking nutrients that are improving your sperm. You're also improving your overall health. People are feeling great. So our men love their WeNatal.
And part of our mission was really with WeNatal was what Ronit said, shifting that paradigm, right? Like for the longest societal history, you said it, Ainsley, everyone puts the burden of fertility for the most part on the female. Change your diet, watch what you eat, don't travel too much. I can't tell you all the things people, grandparents told me what to do and not to do. And when I had my first miscarriage, so much as like all these wise tales, and like I went into a deep introverted, what did I do wrong? And where we need to see this shift after we uncovered the research about 50% of miscarriages linked to men, like Ronit said, it's so intuitive. It takes two to make a baby, but we're here to really bring couples closer together, to really get them to gear up together. It's a team sport, right? And so we spend a lot of time doing the fun stuff, which is planning nurseries and baby showers. But the best gift you can give your child is the 3 to 6 months before, and get really into the we. We are having a baby. We are trying. We're pregnant. But where's the we, really? Like you said. And so when we create a WeNatal, it's like, let's put the we back into, preconception and all the things.
I love that. And because I feel like men, they do want to support. They don't know how. And they're like, oh, I can't really do much. And it's like, the science obviously makes so much sense. There is both the egg and the sperm need to be working well for this to be a healthy, full-term pregnancy. And I think you've really empowered not just women, but empowered men. And the way you've done it has made it very approachable for them both. I mean, your packaging is beautiful, how it arrives to people, the fact that it is very inclusive for both the male and female. That goes a long way versus the man just feeling like, oh, I'm just here.
An afterthought. Yeah. Totally. And we were told by our own doctors, does the men need to change anything? They're kind of like, no, it's fine. Like, no, doesn't need to change diet, doesn't need to do. And so when we found the research, we kind of were like, how is nobody talking about this? How is it so important what the women's doing before, but no one's really talking about how the male partner can help? So it was exciting. We saw a huge gap in the marketplace on the men's side. And then on the women's side, we weren't intentionally going to start with the women's prenatal because, as you know, there's a ton out there, right? Like the market is saturated. But what once we found was that there's kind of two camps, and most of them, unfortunately, under promise and over promise and under deliver. Sorry. And there's like really expensive ones that are good formulas, but a lot of pills, hard to swallow, which for me, I was nursing one after each meal. I could barely make it through the 8 or 9 that I had to take. And then there's, ones that are a single portion a day, but really nutrient deficient, might have a paragraph of additives and fillers and stuff that really shouldn't be in a vitamin. And so when we came about the concept of WeNatal, we're like, we have to reinvent both. Mm-hmm. And, as all people in functional medicine and you can't just treat one part of the body. It's all connected. And I know going through my journey, it was so stressful, and a lot of the fun of like having kids was out the door because I was so stressed about the time frame. Am I getting older? I'm so stressed. So the journal, we partnered with an amazing manifestation coach who wrote this journal that's for everybody, not yet pregnant couples, questions you can discuss before having kids, and really just getting to a few minutes a day of gratitude. And what you see, this research is starting to show more and more that even those couple minutes a day start shifting your whole body composition, your stress levels, the way you act, the way you think. And so even on the hardest days where you feel like nothing's going your way, if you can take a couple of minutes to use the WeNatal journal to show gratitude, not only for yourself, for your partner, have a loving thought for your future child, it's really changed the way I think and act, to be quite honest. And so these are the tools that Ronit mentioned we wish we had when we were kind of trying. And that's kind of how this company started.
A beautiful, beautiful story, and like how it's all come together is wonderful. Talk to me. Did you guys start this after you guys both had your children then? And were you like, okay, hey, remember how we both struggled with that? Like maybe we should try to solve that. Or how did you go from dealing with these challenges? Did you start it while you guys were pregnant? What did that journey look like from this aha light bulb moment? Hey, we're leaving out the men here, and the mindfulness piece to bringing this to life.
Yeah, so the aha came because we were both struggling with a fertility issue. And what happened to Vida and I in early 2020, January 2020, is we both had a miscarriage a week apart. And Vida's happened first, and then mine happened a week later. And at the time, I was working in the functional medicine space with a very famous functional medicine doctor, Dr. Mark Hyman. And when you understand functional medicine, you understand that like there's a root cause to almost everything, right? So when I asked my doctor, what can I do next time around to improve my chances? Like, I don't want to have a miscarriage again. What can I do? Nothing, just try again. It happens to everybody. Just try again. And so I wasn't satisfied with those answers. And I went down the rabbit hole of researching and actually reaching out to all of these amazing functional medicine, functional nutrition mentors to try to figure out like what was going on. And that's when we learned the missing part that we were both ignoring. We were taking a good prenatal back then, but we were completely ignoring our partner's health. We had, we were doing all the things, right? Like wellness wise, natural deodorant, like all the things, but our partners were just, doing their own things. So, and when we learned how easy it is to improve sperm quality, it was a no-brainer for us. And then we started to go, what Vida shared, how we started to go down the rabbit hole of the women's prenatal. So what we ended up doing is we created our own like concoction of like what an ideal men's prenatal would be for our partners. We put them on it. They were champs. We pieced together a bunch of things from different vitamins. They were taking like 9 capsules. They're amazing. And we both actually got pregnant. I'd say I got pregnant 3 months later with now Emma, who's almost 2 years old, and Vida got pregnant about 6 months later with Davina. So, it was born out of loss, really, but we're so happy to be able to serve the community with this. We don't want people to go through what we've been through.
And we wanted to make it easier, like we mentioned, like cleaner, easier. There was a lot of learnings we had when going through it ourselves. One was that we couldn't take all the capsules, but we still wanted to give our customers the most nutrient dense. So we worked to find the most innovative manufacturer to get the density of 8 capsules into only 3. And 3 is still a great number. Might be harder for some, but let me just tell you, you're getting that full dosage. We were trying to down 8 to 10. The other thing was how, unfortunately, unsustainable most brands are with plastic packets and a lot of throwing plastic bottles. And so we want to make it so easy, give you a beautiful glass jar that you're not embarrassed of. I was hiding like 10 white clinical looking bottles and I wouldn't take it because I would literally hide them and forget about them. I didn't want them all on my counter. And so the whole idea to creating a routine and a habit is making it accessible, making it easy. And we knew if you might consider leaving it on your kitchen counter or bathroom or wherever, you'll actually do it. And so it's sustainable. You get a pouch every month. And that's why we ended up going with a system that hopefully makes it easy for our consumer, gives them the best quality at a much more accessible price point than what we were paying for our 8 to 10 capsules per month.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It definitely stacks up, right? People are like spending a lot of money on their journey just to get pregnant. Sometimes they're not getting the best quality and then they're kind of forgetting it. And they're like, oh shoot, what's happening? Right. And it's a stressful enough period for some people as they're going through it. Right. Did you jump full time into this business once you were like, ooh, we're really onto something here? Like there is a gap in the market. There's a ton of research that showed that, we can increase sperm quality. No one is really addressing that. Once you guys came to that, were you like, all right, we're going all in on this, or what does that look like for you?
Yeah, it's a great question. Not at first. I'd say Ronit was able to leave her career and immediately jump. I mean, she was like the brilliance behind the functional medicine side and our medical board, and like I'll let her speak to that. For me, it was every night and waking hour outside of my corporate career that I could give to it. And then when I was on maternity leave, I was able to dive more into it. But it's a fine balance in startup life of like giving, but we're so excited about it. And I'll let Ronit speak to her journey.
Yeah. So I, probably a few months in, once the idea really became not just an idea, but like we're actually doing this, I left working with Dr. Mark Hyman and then actually recruited Dr. Hyman to be an investor and an advisor for WeNatal and have been working on it full time since.
And did you guys know that you wanted to get investment from day one? How did you kind of know that you had this idea? I think a lot of people get great ideas and then that bringing it to life with excellence is where a lot of people kind of fall short. You guys have absolutely not. You've gone above and beyond with it all. Did you always plan to get external investment to make this happen? Or was that kind of a piece of, hey, okay, if we're really going to do this, we have to get this to make this happen. Otherwise, we're not going to do it. Or how did that kind of come into play for your guys' journey?
It wasn't necessarily, oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Vida, you go.
I was just going to say, it wasn't necessarily from the start that, we tried to bootstrap as much as we could at the beginning and really, to Ronit's point, get the foundation straight, get our vision, get, our medical advisors. A lot of the foundation was done without it. It was actually much closer to launch that some incredible advisors like Dr. Hyman, who we absolutely respect, admire, such a pioneer in the space, expressed interest to us. And so we quickly were like, not only are these people incredible medical board, but they want to be a bigger part of our mission. And we couldn't say no to that. So we ended up doing a friends and family round much closer to our launch date. But it was always kind of our mission to prove the concept before going bigger with investment, right? To like really show there is an added level of excitement and stress when you take outside money, right? And like, just the two people that we are, we know we're always going to over deliver for anyone who comes in our circle. But it was exciting that so many people raised their hand that wanted to support and wanted to give their hard-earned dollars. And so, so that's kind of how it happened.
I think a lot of people probably saw exactly what you saw, right? There's an underserved market here.
Exactly.
The category of fertility, it's a big one. It's probably only getting bigger as people wait longer and longer in life to start families. And there are obviously different stressors that come with that. But I think a lot of people saw exactly what you saw, which is fantastic, that it was great to like be able to get that investment to allow you guys to in an even bigger way. And you guys only launched 6 months ago. Like, talk to me about what your launch looked like. How has it been going in the last 6 months?
Oh my gosh, it's been amazing. I'd say like, we launched 6 months ago. We had an incredible launch event with all of these incredible people in the wellness space, including Dr. Hyman. We had a bunch of people fly in, Bridget Tigemeyer. We had Kelly Levesque come down from Orange County. We had an amazing event, and it felt like this was like one of the first post-COVID events, and everyone was just so happy and excited to be there. And it was incredible. And I would say like at launch, we were like Vida and I, Vida, I don't know if you even remember this, but like, I mean, I'm sure you do. It was only 6 months ago, but we were so overwhelmed with the amount of orders that we got, literally just from people were waiting for so long. We kind of started to message on social media and put out education before launching, because again, that's our number one mission, is to educate consumers about the importance of preconception, all the things that they could do naturally to support their fertility. And so we were probably building up content for at least 6 months before we launched. And when we launched, it was like, we literally, like, we couldn't believe it. Like news, another subscriber, another one, literally like I get the notifications, and it was like insane. So we were very, very grateful for such an awesome launch. And it's also helpful that we have this incredible advisory board spreading the word about it. So we had a lot of people waiting for it.
Well, and you mentioned something there. Okay, that's incredible. I'm so glad like that, like ding, ding, ding was like going off like mad for you guys.
The best. We didn't even like think about, I mean, literally I'd be like putting Emma to sleep and I'd be like, ding, 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 ding. I'm like, oh my God, like I never had a job where I could be making money while I'm putting my child to sleep. This is awesome.
Yeah. You're like, hey, I think I've figured something out here.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I'm sure also running your own, like being in the business too, allows you guys to prioritize. Like family in different ways, right? In terms of, I mean, your whole mission is to help families, but I'm sure it helps you look at family in different perspectives as a whole as well.
For sure. I mean, we definitely also do our best to practice what we preach as startup, founders and, moms of 2 young kids. A lot of times it's really hard to do all the things and take the time to, take care of ourselves and do eat healthy and eat clean, but we definitely make a huge effort. And, it's really nice to see it trickle down to our kids. Mm-hmm. I mean, and hear them talk about it. Eden, my 6-year-old, will ask, is that organic? Is that gluten-free? And it's so cute to see them learn. Or sometimes she'll make videos, or she'll pretend to make videos and she'll be like, I'm the co-founder of whatever. And it's just so sweet to see your kids being inspired to be an entrepreneur too, and to inspire them to eat healthy. And, this is what they were born into.
What a beautiful gift in terms of 2 powerful role models that you guys are to your children. These children are so lucky to have you guys to look up to and be wow, first of all, look what we can create. How amazing. You can have an idea and you can go and create it and solve a problem. And I'm sure they, whether or not they recognize it right now, that will go and serve them so much in terms of how you guys are empowering them.
Thank you. Totally.
Huge. Exciting.
And for you guys right now, we launched 6 months ago. Orders have been coming in. It's been rolling. Where are you guys spending your focus these days right now? What does inside WeNatal look like on a day-to-day basis?
Always innovating. That's number one. We are always how can we do what we're already doing better, more efficiently? Literally 6 months in, we never thought we would update our formula so quick. But today we just launched a new formula, and literally our commitment from day one, we picked our manufacturer based on someone who can be nimble and constantly evolving with us. And so when new research showed up from our medical advisory board and new peer research, we didn't want to ignore it. We're it came out way quicker. We weren't expecting it, but there was small tweaks and we're going to keep making them. So that's exciting. Launch today. We've gotten a slew of thank you. I feel so supported. Doing the right thing for the consumer, I think, is what you can always count on us for. This is a brand that made out of integrity and not about the bottom line. And so we feel good. We can sleep at night knowing that we're always going to give you the best, and we're taking it and we give it to our families. So I think innovation is the heart of what we do. And then, more products and more innovation. I think we've gotten such great feedback on our supplements. What's next is what can we continue to do to evolve our product line, be a bigger community? That's been something that naturally came about because we're also giving tips holistically. It's not just about the supplement journal. We're giving you lifestyle tips on how you and your partner can live a cleaner, life, with your home, with your products you use. And so we're constantly using the research and education that we learn to educate our consumers. And some of it is around our products and some of it's just holistic lifestyle. And so that evolved into a bigger community. People the other day asked, DM us, what's the cleanest waffle iron I can make? My kids love they're looking to us as experts on how to lead clean lifestyles. And like Ronit mentioned, there's so much that makes, taking supplements and living a healthy life, not just for preconception. It's just good to be a healthy adult. And that obviously affects your sperm and eggs, but also for the future home for your child, right? You want to start cleaning up your household. You want to slowly start evolving some better practices so that when you do bring kids in the home, it's something that you feel great about.
Yeah. And so to Vida's point, going back to the community, what we've done is all of our members get a free nutrition consult with top functional nutritionists. They are part of a community a closed Facebook group where we can create space for people's experiences. We are constantly sharing blog posts, social media, So that's kind of like, honestly, to me, the fun stuff. But then, of course, that like in a business, like the most important thing is like the foundation and is honestly like the non-sexy stuff, right? So that's also a big thing that's happening at WeNatal, is making sure that our operations are really great, and the foundation and like our shipping and, all honestly, the stuff that I hate to deal with. Our website functionality, improving that. So really making sure that like in this first year of launch, we're just strengthening the foundation so that we can grow. And then it's going back to what Vida said, is like hearing our consumer, hearing what they want and need, and supporting them with new products.
That makes sense. And at least there's two of you guys to split up the activities that maybe you don't love, because that foundation, you guys know it needs to be built and you're building it really strong. But at least there's two of you. You can kind of like divide and conquer.
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully.
Honestly, I don't know how single founders do it. Like, I commend them, because Vida and I complement each other so well. The stuff that I hate doing, she actually loves doing. Vida's all about like the contracts, the legal, the finance, the warehouse. Like, we went to the warehouse yesterday, and even Vida was doing all the stuff that like I was like doing my own thing there, and she does her own thing, and it works out. We very complement each other. So thank God for co-founders.
Yeah, I laugh because literally Ronit's like, that email, I can't even read it. Like, you need to figure it out. And like, we do compliment each other. It's really fun.
That's so key. If you're going to go in business with and you guys are like, you're like best friends too, right? It's like go in business with your best friend and people that compliment you. Just makes it so much stronger versus trying to do all the things, right? There's so many freaking hats that you need to wear in this business, let alone in life. Having someone there to balance it out really allows you guys to build that strong foundation.
Yeah,
totally.
Agreed.
Well, guys, you have done such a bang up job with this. Like, I was on your website earlier, and I know you guys talked about the research, and it's just for anyone listening who is looking for any of that research, like seriously, it is a wealth of information. You can link right out to articles, which I think is really, really key. And I really get that community piece that you are trying to build and the integrity behind it all, in terms of really trying to do what is best for your consumer, really trying to do what is best for the next generation of little ones coming in, that they can come in nice and healthy, is very apparent. And I can't wait to continue to watch you guys grow and make an impact on the industry. For people who want to get their hands on WeNatal right now, where can they find you guys?
They can find us at WeNatal.com. And then what we do have is an awesome free guide for couples who are trying to conceive, with 9 tips for preconception. And if you go to wenatal.com/guide and enter your email, we send you a PDF. And then on social, you could see Vida and I making educational reels and having fun with it. So Instagram, where we_natal.
Awesome. That's great. Yeah, definitely go check it out. For anyone watching on video, the products are beautiful, guys. Totally beautiful. People want to carry these around with them absolutely everywhere. The journal is incredible and very, very key for people. I'm going to leave us on one final note. For anyone who has an idea like you guys, who sees a gap in the market, what advice would you have for them in terms of considering starting a food business or a supplement business? What thoughts would you have for anyone in that same space?
Ronit always says get a co-founder, because we've met a lot of we've met a lot of entrepreneurs in this world, and we're so excited to meet just anyone and learn from everyone. But having a village is important, because we're learning from every single entrepreneur we met, right? We share tips, we share what works, what's not. And it's a constant roller coaster in startup world. So what Ronit mentioned about co-founder, we genuinely mean it. Find your rock. Find someone who literally on the days that I'm down, she picks me up, and vice versa. We have skill sets that complement each other. So it helps, that we truly think. And then also, I think one that we really learn the hard way is trusting our intuition and our gut. Like you really have to go back to what you believe. A lot of times we doubt ourselves because we may not, one, we've never launched a business before. 2, we may not be a finance or a legal expert or an expert on websites, but your brand, your idea the best. And you always have to go back to why you're starting it and your gut on what's going to make it, get over the top.
I love that. Yeah. No one knows the brand the way you guys do. And when you start to doubt it and listen to other people, it doesn't come out, the way that you guys imagine it. Yeah. Yeah. Really great pieces there. Vida, Ronit, thank you guys so much for sharing your journey. And thank you guys so much for putting this on the market for so many families that are extremely grateful. I know we were talking before that people are just messaging you being like, thank you so much. They truly, genuinely love the product and the impact that you've made. So thank you guys for your contribution into the fertility journey and into just society as a whole. So great job, guys. Looking forward to watching you grow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's it for this week, food friend. Thanks for tuning in. If the show helped you in any way, please go ahead and leave a rating or review of the show below. I also want to thank our sponsor one more time, the Food Brands That Sell program, the program to transform how you navigate the CPG industry and ultimately sets you up for success within it. Go ahead and get yourself on the waitlist using the link below, or you can put yourself on the waitlist at foodbrandsthatsellwaitlist.com. Catch you next time, food friend.